All right, welcome back. We're coasting home right about now. Let's discuss something very important as well. It's around the economy. Now, the revised 2026 fiscal policy import tariff fiscal policy measures have brought about what we call a sweeping changes in import tariff, where the federal government had brought about an overhaul of import tariffs regime. We've seen reduction in imported vehicles. We've seen reduction in agricultural products. We've seen an introduction of the green tax and many other concerns. Let's invite our guest, Dr. Bamidele Ayemibo. Is an international business, trade, and finance expert. He joins us right about now to bring more clarity to this conversation. Dr. Ayemibo, good morning. Welcome to News Up.
Good morning. How are you today?
I'm very well, thank you. Now, speak to us around speak to us on the 2026 fiscal policy that is running right about now, that has brought about this new tariff regime, import tariff regime in Nigeria. Speak to us around that.
Okay, so in April, before Wale Edun left, there were a number of policies, actually, quite a number of them, that was on April 1 precisely. And quite a number of policies were released. So what we are seeing now is the implementation of that particular policy. That policy stipulated a number of things, and like you said, one of them has to do with what they call green tax surcharge. And the goal actually is to ensure that the environment is preserved, preventing large engine import into Nigeria, and promoting electric and locally made vehicles. And that's why you see the engine that has 2,000 cc to about 4,000 are charged 2%, and the one for 4,000 cc and above are charged 4%. But for electric vehicles, our vehicle below 2,000 cc are mass transit, buses, locally made vehicle at 0%. So it's part of a whole lot of different policies, fiscal policies of government, which cover array of areas. And the goal, basically, of course, is to be able to stimulate the economy and help to be able to grow the economy. So we had about 192 tariff line under import adjustment tax in that particular fiscal policy. We had about 17 import prohibition, particularly from non-ECOWAS country. We had about 127 items with reduced duty, just like we've seen. And then, of course, they gave a grace period of about 90 days from that time. So from April 1, grace period will be April, May, June. So by July, we expect that all of this should take effect, even those that have transactions will take effect. And that's exactly what we're seeing right now.
Let's look at a few of the products rather that would enjoy this exemption. You talked about the automobile industry. That for many is also a huge concern. At a point in time, we have seen governments over time talked about the need to improve the local industry. Now, many would say that with the removal of tariffs, it could be opening the doors to massive importation of automobiles, which of course could further destroy the local economy. What's your thoughts around that? Even though I know some Nigerians will smile at that.
I don't think so. I don't think so, because the goal of this initiative basically is to be able to help support different aspects of the economy. So for example, you have a situation where you have vehicles locally. Whatever they are bringing in, it has zero import duty. That vehicle, and then the people producing locally are not able to meet the demand, actually. And some of them Nigeria cannot afford it, actually. So, but I think what the government have done is to ensure that if you are bringing in new cars, you pay more. And I think that's actually to encourage local manufacturers. So if you're going to get new car, since we are producing locally, why don't you get locally manufactured goods rather than buying from outside, which I think for me is a very, very fantastic initiative. So you're right to some extent, in the sense that people will raise concern about, if we are saying we want to grow local economy, why should we be? But the fact is that they can't meet the demand, and not everybody can afford it because it's new, And that's why government, the bid to ensure that nobody is left out, ensure that, okay, even if you are going to import, this is the amount you will be able to import.
How much has been done in ensuring that we build a productive economy? We are not seeing that. Rather, we seem to be more of a consumption economy. Giving to this tariff drop. In as much as many will say it's a laudable initiative. Boys are going to make money. Boys are not going to pay so much. The price of these things might come down. But how does this, in the long run, help grow the nation's economy?
Because of the fact that you now pay more if you are importing new cars, that's going to encourage local production. To a very large extent, encourage local production, which is the whole idea actually. Because if it's not encourage local production, then we're just wasting our time. So I believe it's going to encourage local production because of the fact that if you are importing into Nigeria, you are going to be paying more. So for example, I see that the fact that there are pros to this: direct relief on inflation and cost of living, reduce transportation and haulage costs, of course, boost agriculture, mechanization, because some of these are affected, and of course, acceleration of clean energy. But I agree with you the fact that, of course, local assembly plants are going to have to compete, but the beauty also is the fact that you are not going to be competing with people bringing in a lot of new vehicles, which I think make a lot of sense. So it's supposed to establish a delicate balance between local production and also import. Because we really cannot say today that local production can meet up all the demand for the new cars. And the fact that if government now is able to support in a way that new cars become a lot more affordable, maybe, but that would mean an exchange rate I'm guessing we have to come down, because a lot of items they are using right now are largely imported.
All right, Mr. Dr. Ayemibo, we're talking about essential goods and machineries, which many will be excited about. It says tariffs on stable commodities will bulk and broken rice were reduced. It says duties for raw cane, sugar, and crude palm oil saw significant compressions as well. I'm looking at all of this reduction on all the commodities that are open to importation. These are things that if we had improved on our productivity or on our production line, should be able, to be self-sufficient in all of these things. If only we
I agree with you. On the side of food, I think we need to do something about that, because food is something we can easily do. Food is arable within a year or two. If it's technology, machinery, it may take us a while. But food. So I'm definitely not in support of that, because that's an aspect of the economy that creates a lot of jobs for Nigerians. So we need to tread very carefully in allowing different kind of food items being imported into the country. We had a situation where we had rice, wheat, flour, raw sugar cane sugar, malt extract, pasta, tomato, and the like. All of them having a reduction, and the goal actually is because they called for the reason why that is being done basically is to be able to reduce inflation. But sincerely, I don't think it's something we need to encourage actually, because at the end of the day, we are going to have to pay for it, because remember, we need to create jobs.
We need to create jobs. I'm happy you ended on that note. We need to create jobs, because that is why the conversation around productive economy becomes very, very, very key. Many could argue that it begins to look like some politics is being played here. And in the long run, this would not be better for the nation's economy. We have to go right about now. Dr. Ayemibo Bamidele, thank you always for your time with us on the show. Unfortunately, time will not permit us go beyond now. Thank you, and
thank you very much for having me.
Thank you. Yeah. All right, Tulu, we'll draw the curtain on the show.
We exhausted the conversations this morning. Thank you so much for joining us across board. All our focused conversations from beginning to the end. It's been a pleasure. My name is Tolu Ajibala. Thank you for watching.
And my name is David Ubabulike. Do have a great day, and bye for now.